Hi, Rosie here. Really concentrating on shoulder mobility today. Can you move your shoulder? So can you circle your arms without getting the rest of your body involved? So if you have a go now, circle your arms really slowly and see whether you are bending your knees or pushing your chest forwards. If you can't tell that whether or not you're doing that, stand up against a wall. Now, obviously, this isn't a solid wall, but you can get the same feeling. You want to make sure that your whole body, apart from the small of your back, which has a natural arch, is pressed up against the wall. So your whole shoulder area from kind of just below bra strap area, if you wear a bra, is touching the wall. And then lift your arms up above your heads. Now, if your back pops up off the wall, then you have got a lack of mobility in your shoulder joint, which is here. So just have a go, and you might find that you can do it with one arm and then the other and see how much mobility you've got, and see at what point you can get to before your chest pops up off the wall. What that's showing you is that in order for your body to help you get your arm above your head, it's using other parts of your body to do that. So that will, as you bring your chest forwards to get your arm into that movement, you can see that your tummy is pushing out, your chest pushing out, your knees are more likely to bend, and you are putting the weight on your toes. So if you tried to do that and lift your toes up, you wouldn't be able to. So we need, first of all, let's look at the need for being able to have shoulders that can move independently of your chest. If you are always in this position, one way or another, your shoulder is only ever going from by your side to this angle, then you really do lose the mobility to get your arms up above your head and to circle backwards. The result being that you are more likely to put yourself at risk of shoulder impingement issues. So that's things like frozen shoulder, where you physically can't lift your shoulder up. It will impact any nerve issues down here, so you might have numbness or tingling of your arms and hands and fingers, because there's a huge amount of nerves that come, well, obviously lots of nerves that come down to your fingers, which are important. So being unable to move your arm will impinge how those nerves work. Swollen hands and fingers, anything that needs good circulation will circulation will be restricted if you can't have full mobility of your hands. But what else though? If you're lifting up your arms and you're pushing your chest forward, you're creating a pressure on the lumbar vertebrae, the lower back vertebrae, and all the discs in between. So every time you're doing that, you're squashing and creating pressure on there, leaving you up for lumbar disc problems, lower back pain, which is horrible anyway. I know lower back pain's nasty. Pushing your tummy forward creates what we call intra-abdominal pressure. It means that anything in here is going to push upwards or downwards, and that's going to start to increase your risks of hernia, prolapse, incontinence issues, prostate issues. The same with pushing the pelvis forward. That's still going to create more lumbar vertebrae problems as well as pelvic floor problems. And having to bend your knees to get your legs forward is going to create knee problems. And as I said, if you're pushing the weight into your toes all the time, you're going to create yourself some foot problems. So something as simple as not being able to circle your arms without getting the rest of your body involved is going to have impact not just on that area of your body, but the rest of your body as well. So what to do about it? First of all is to use the wall exercise and just practice lifting your arm with keeping your back on the wall. That needs to be done by anchoring the ribs down, and you do that by just using the top of your abdominal muscles just to hold your ribs in place as you're moving your arm, and just work on getting that movement more and more as the time goes on. You can also work on making sure that if you put a hand on your back over your scapula, your shoulder blade, and practice moving your arm without allowing your scapula to get involved, and also thinking about keeping the ribs anchored. So this is just small little movements of moving the arm. You can move it up and across. You can rotate it inwards and outwards, just slowly getting more mobility and more movement in your shoulders just from the joint here. It can take a while, but it will also mean that you can start to work towards things like hanging better, crawling better. Any quadruped activity will be easier and less stressful if you've got more mobility and strength of the shoulders. Obviously, a lack of mobility means that you've also got a weakness there in the shoulders. So yeah, there's the advantages of being able to hang and crawl are things like balance, things like upper body strength, which increases your lung capacity, which all of those things help to increase your coordination and your balance. So a tiny little thing of observing how someone gets their arms above their heads gives you something to kind of have a look at, have a think about whether you can do that thing too, and if not, something to work on and the reasons to work on. So I hope that helps, and go forth and mobilize your shoulders.